Sony did something kinda cool here. Instead of following suit and creating a dumbed down mid-range device brandishing the same name as its flagship, they created their flagship in a compact form. The Sony Xperia Z1 Compact is everything the full-sized Xperia Z1 is, just intended for those who don't want the large form factor. Give this video a big thumbs up, the more likes the better. And check out the description for links to purchase this device and many others from mobicity.com. A key aspect to the Xperia Z1 that many including myself praise is build quality. The material selection of glass, chrome accents and metallic edges certainly defines the compact as a high-end device, and in hand it feels like a high-end device, which is the point of course. I have to remind myself that size doesn't matter in this case because although the current trend is for larger form factors, particularly in the high-end market, the Z1 Compact coming smaller is to appeal to a particular group of smartphone users, and I think that group of users had now been left behind, especially when looking to Android devices. The other key point, it is IP58 certified dustproof and water resistant up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. This isn't a unique feature as Samsung is starting to deliver it in its flagships, but a faithful rendition that cements its cloning of the Z1. It was actually quite pleasing to hold a device that my hand could dominate once again. It reminded me that a smartphone should not be cumbersome and operation was so easy at this size. The button positions were fine, Sony sticking with a now familiar layout. The two-step shutter button is, as always, a welcomed addition. The sleek, long speaker grille at the base melds well, and the flaps that permit the water resistance camouflage into the sides, although they are a tedious must-have. The docking port stands out, but I'm glad it's there. The glass is lipped by a thin band of plastic that allows for the signal to pass through, and the top holds the notification light. If looking for a premium device that retains a smaller profile like an iPhone, this is definitely a contender. My one gripe: that shatterproof film on the glass is a smudgy, easily marked lint magnet, especially the rear panel, which is actually a toughened plastic, not glass like the front. If a room contains even a speck of dust, it seems to find its way to stick to the Z1 Compact, and when you clean it, it will leave even more dust. Good thing you can hose it down. What won't drive you mad is its performance. Like the Z1 before it, the internals are solid, connectivity is limitless, and the experience is something else. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 chipset features that quad-core 2.2 GHz Crate 400 CPU, 2 GB of RAM, and the Adreno 330 GPU. With the slightly skinned version of Android running, I found no significant lag. I found reception fair. It would drop bars of reception more frequently than other devices, but only noticeable to a keen eye. With LTE and Wi-Fi 802.11 AC download speeds were blazing. You can use USB OTG devices through the micro USB version 2.0 port and included adapter. Connect with Bluetooth 4.0, expand the memory with up to a 64 gig micro SD card, chock it full of media with 16 gigs of included internal storage, tap away with NFC and keep it all powered by a 2300 mAh battery. The smaller, lower resolution display does wonders at keeping the Z1 Compact charged. Continuous HD video playback drained it in 7 hours, but this wasn't representative of overall battery life. I went to bed each night with nearly 40% left after taking it off charge at 6 AM. I can't say I have that much left with too many other flagships. I can comfortably say this should be an all-day phone for most. And speaking of the display, it's a 4.3-inch IPS LCD with a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. Not full HD, but in that size, still delivering 342 ppi pixel density. You won't see any pixels there. The viewing angles of the panel is far better than its full-size variant. I found contrast is more intense on this panel, punching saturation of certain blocks of colors. Color reproduction is otherwise good thanks to the Triluminous display and X-Reality engine. It has good sensitivity and responsiveness, which is a must, and while it was kind of liberating carrying around a reasonably proportioned device for a change, I've become so accustomed to my larger display that I did find it held me back in what I was trying to do. I text sloppily again, couldn't see all the content I wanted to, but this is me coming from devices with displays no smaller than 5 inches. The Xperia Z1 Compact is shipping with Android Jelly Bean. The skin is distinctly Sony's Xperia skin with detailed customization options and in-house applications, but it can very easily look and feel raw Android for the most part. I don't mind any of the inclusions and additions. I don't think they hurt performance, and some add a little greatness to the experience. I played a little more with themes this time and found one that gave a really cool, unique look without having to download any additional launchers. The settings and shortcuts are thorough and easy to approach. The multitasking button gives some life to the OS with small apps that run atop of running applications. I don't use them much, but there would come a time when they served a great purpose. A great inclusion is the ability to hook up a DualShock 3 controller to play games using the Z1 Compact. Unfortunately, mine is gone now, and I only have a DualShock 4. But my favorite is all the other available methods of connectivity, all parceled together. You can grab and throw your media anywhere, and it couldn't be any easier. The media experience is solid. The panel is just large enough to provide an immersive experience, and the specifications permit fluid gaming. The speaker reaches a decent level and doesn't distort greatly with fair audio quality across levels. The camera is kind of a big deal. The same 20.7 megapixel autofocus camera and LED flash came across into this compact body, and it still performs great. I had issues with performance the last time in the Xperia Z1, and that has since been patched with an update. I found the quality of shots more consistent this time. Video quality was excellent, and the large sensor size compensates well at night. I have discovered that I have issues with superior auto mode though. It's supposed to interpret the scene better than standard auto modes on other cameras and create settings that fit the scene to deliver the best shot. In superior auto mode, it shoots in a 16:9 aspect ratio at only 8 megapixels. If you want the full 20.7, you need to go manual. When you go manual and choose your settings, I found picture quality, particularly at night, far cleaner. I got a lot of grain in superior auto when it would simply blow out the ISO and exposure compensation to allow a quick shutter speed. Always shoot manual. That's my photo philosophy for life. The front-facing 2 megapixel camera did a great job, and you can shoot video at 1080p for 30 frames per second. HDR video and the other included modes are all a little useless and gimmicky, however. There are no bad points that I can say about the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact as a flagship smartphone. It's made for those who want to shy away from the trend of larger form factors but want an uncompromised performance. And for $620, that's a reasonable price to pay for a flagship phone, especially when you think the next closest performing compact smartphone with first-rate build quality is the exorbitantly priced iPhone. But you can get the full-sized Xperia Z1 for $20 less at $600 because it's now been superseded by the Xperia Z2. So you're selling yourself short by 0.7 of an inch in display and only getting a 720p display, not 1080p, by choosing the compact variant. These two phones should have been released side by side with a good price differential. I understand they hope people looking for that size will not discern over price, but I can't. It's left a big sour taste in my mouth and has made the Xperia Z1 Compact far less appealing. I will applaud Sony on concept and execution, and crucify them over price and marketing. It could have been a beautiful thing. I'm Kurt, and this is KABOOtech. Give this video a like, and see you next time.